folks. Very good morning. Sorry we're late. A few technical connection issues, as you can expect when you're at a place like this with all these thousands of people milling around. It's public day number 1, I believe this is. It's Saturday and we're at the ILA Berlin Air Show. Static displays here behind me, the Emirates 380 that we're going to go and have a look at in a little bit. It is the newest of the 380s, 6 months old she is, and hopefully we'll get a look on board her, but bear in mind folks, there's a lot of people here. Unfortunately, the hosts that show people around these Airbus jets have now left, so we are going to be able to look around them externally but not internally. So let's have a little look around in around about, what is it, 40 minutes or so, Jilly? How long have we got? Half an hour? Yeah, first display is in 18 minutes. Well, let's just have a little look around here then, in that case. Okay, so this is their 900, folks. And this is one of the family jets, which they use for testing and trialing new equipment, new engines, and so on and so forth. Well, not so much new engines, but componentry and things like that. So let's just have a little look right from the back end of her APU, which is pretty impressive, isn't it? Nicely, nice piece of titanium there. That massive, great big APU exhaust. We've looked at the empennage many times on commercial passenger jets, but it looks quite skinny from a long way away. But it doesn't look very skinny from here, does it? She's beautiful, beautiful aeroplane. Can't read your comments out, folks, because I'm as you can appreciate, I am mobile. But yeah, you can see that she's definitely had a lot of use. Oh, yeah! Big shout out to to Manuel. I think it is. I think it's Manuel in the social media department, and his colleague there, sweating it out in the social media room here at ILA Berlin. Thank you for your help, sir. So, an interesting part of the A350 that you don't get to see on other aircraft is this valance here. Now, obviously, where it's squared off there, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because normally that valance would continue round, but they've obviously, in order to save space or house the air conditioning units that are in the belly there, you can see that what I'm talking about is, if you look at the beluga, which is over there, that's what I'm talking about, the continuation of the valance, the wing valance. So and you'll look on the A380 a little bit later on, which will show you just how incredibly big that aircraft is. Undercarriage on the seat. If we were standing here with the 777 now, you would definitely see that the axle is a lot wider on the A350. You can see the brake calipers there that we've talked about so many times. What are we talking about? 2, 4, 6 calipers. There's the braking system that you can see there, normally incorporating, you know, rather a large number of discs on each of the. It's one of the pilot's kids, it must be, I'd imagine. But you can see quite neat and tidy hydraulic systems on the A350, but I think slightly smaller tyres or wheels than the 777. Vented there, as you can see. But that whole unit, you don't have to literally individually undo each one of those lugs. That's that whole system lifts off as one unit to expose the brake assembly, and the brake assembly lifts away as a single unit as well. Interesting to see how they've obviously dealt with a problem, well, not so much a problem, but that single flap there that you can see is to cover the fact that that gear door opens and closes with the gear itself. So you can see the you can see that tiny flap there, which is the last part of the puzzle, really, I'm guessing. Beautifully machined alloy and titanium components. You can just see that size of that. See how much little travel that there is on that suspension there. Very short amount of travel, but that's really all she needs. Going on to the wing, all carbon wing, of course. See these, what they call the canoes, which is where the hydraulic arms and screws and components are housed for these big flaps that you can see there. Now this is a test aircraft, so there was obviously not any I wouldn't imagine there would be much seating on there. Probably a small amount of seating, just for test crews and so on and so forth. Interesting. Another thing that's quite interesting is and it would be interesting to get that from a designer, but it's almost as if that has been cut out by someone who wasn't looking very carefully when they cut it out. But it's obviously there's a reason for each and every one of those. Crazy, isn't it? It's to there's a specific purpose behind everything that you see, of course. So, and this is the big Rolls-Royce XWB engine. See, in there, the core is actually not that big. It is literally a case of the size of the housing is relevant to the size of the fan blade itself. So we'll have a little look at this fan blade. Which is their titanium fan blades. See that Kevlar lining, which is get a scale of it there with that fella there, look. So that's the engine nacelle or nacelle. You can see from that line back. So it's a very heavy component. Normally it needs it does need a complete lifting hoist system to get that in place, along with a lot of people to obviously make sure that she sits perfectly. Thank you. See at the leading edge there. We've seen when we've been at Toulouse quite a few times. Let me just bring this around. So is the audio okay, Jill? It's not distorting or anything, no? Yeah, but I've just changed it. Yeah, but I've just changed the mic round to face me to. So you can see where some of that speed tape is there, folks. That is where they've trailed wiring or anything from the windows themselves. And some of these windows are blanked out. There's one of them there, which sometimes, if they're doing low-level testing, they will trail. Okay. Now, question is am I able to do this display handheld? That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Der Eurofighter hat mit einer Spannweite von 11 Metern und einer Länge von 16 Metern sehr viel Bewegungsmöglichkeiten und ist ein sehr kompaktes und leichtes Flugzeug.
Okay. Right. Okay, Eurofighter is on its way, folks. Okay, so as we've discussed many times before, I just want to make sure that this is not distorting. Which is better, Julie? Is the mic facing me or away from me? Let me just check now. I'm just talking now. Check. And now I'm just going to turn it around. So this Eurofighter is just going to arrive right now. I've faced it away from me. Check. You can tell me which is better and which is. Doesn't make a lot of difference, or? I think I'll be able to handheld it, mate. I'm going to try and handheld it. Okay, this is the Beluga XL, folks. Now you can see exactly what we're talking about with regards to the so I'll tell you what, let me move over here because I've got that noisy generator pumping out a load of revs. Furthest I can get away from me. Oh, okay. Yeah, but when what I'm gonna do is just how vast that, of course it can fit A350 wing sets in it. I think 2 sets of wings can be transported on this Beluga XL, whereas only 1 set of wings could be transported on it in the earlier variants, in the original Beluga, and of course other components, including fuselage segments, engines, etc. So very impressive. Tell you one thing I haven't got. Oh, stand by. I need to do something here. I'm just a bit worried about this camera power. Hold up, Julie. Like that. I don't like that at all. time to walk back. Right, okay. Anything on ADSB in terms of its location? Oh, that'll be it, mate. Yeah. No, it'll do a slow fly in. It'll do a slow fly in. Okay, let's get out of this guy's yapping on. Right, I'm just going to have to wing this, man. Forgive the pun, but I'm going to have to wing it here. Okay. No, that's good, mate. It's really good. It's really good. Which end of the field is she approaching from, Gilly? Oh, look at that. Scoots. Is that Scoot's Dreamliner? Yeah, but that's a passenger service, isn't it? So it's a Trent 700. This is based on the A330 CEO airframe, folks. Just worried that I'm going to turn the mic around. Oh, really? Oh, great. Okay, stand by, folks. So we'll do a touch and go, and he'll go vertical when he's going to go vertical. It's coming from the east, you say? So that's to my left, yeah. As I'm looking at the runway, yeah. Here we go. I've got him. Okay, Jerry. This is never easy, man. I'm doing this all off handheld, man. Yeah, but it's handheld, Chili. I've got it. It's. No, I'm not going to mention it. Here she comes. Okay, bring on the noise. Oh, you sure, mate? think he's done. How was that, folks? Was that any good? Was that all right? Copy, GP? Okay, I can't hear you, mate. I can't hear you. Hello? Jilly? Just have to hope that it was good. Yeah, now I can, yeah. Have you muted me or something? Okay, that was all right, yeah? Oh, okay, thank God for that. Oh, blimey. Okay, this is interesting, folks. I don't know if, Jelly, you can look on the comments, but this Airbus C295, when I looked up C295 aircraft last night, it was a Spanish manufacturer. Has Airbus picked these guys up like they did with the A220 with the CS? Interesting to see a transport aircraft. Transport aircraft with shark clits, which is quite interesting. A few military nice big set of carbon props on it. I'm guessing it's the same sort of same kind of engine as the ATR. Look at that. See how big these drones are, man. Really want one of these flying overhead. Pretty crazy, aren't they? Hey. I think this is a mock-up. Yeah, folks, we sort of like, I made the decision to not do the tower today because there's a lot of heads up there, there's a lot of bods up there. So I would have been sort of like, you know, behind a lot of heads because there's all, you know, guests up there and so on and so forth. So again, we find ourselves in this position where we would be queuing for quite some time to get on board this aircraft, and understandably so. So let's just have a look at her from the outside, shall we? This is the A400M, the Airbus A400M. Interesting to see. Earlier on, I noticed these flip open deflectors, which are obviously to protect personnel who are either leaving the aircraft or whatever they may be doing, but just to protect them from the prop wash coming off these huge blades. Very, very impressive. What's that, GP? Leading voice, man. Yeah.
Den Weg bei der Bundeswehr, ich weiß, dass die Bundeswehr da wirklich sehr, sehr offen ist. Also, mit ihrem Nachwuchs.
Okay, so is it a collaboration, is it? Thank you. This beauty here. That's it here, folks. Eurofighter Typhoon. So these are the things that we see slung under the wings of the Eurofighters at Coningsby. This is an active aircraft, one of their special livery jets. So you can see the canard wing there, which is flipped vertically to allow access for the pilots, but is also acts as an air brake, but also as maneuverable stabilators, I'm guessing you could say. Would you say them? Call them that? I mean, no, they're canards, but they also act as during the movement of the aircraft, very small incremental movements. You can see the mechanisms for attaching the ordnance. Pretty impressive, isn't it? That's a fuel tank. That there is an external fuel tank. There is another dummy missile. Either air to ground or air to air, one of the two. But yeah, she's an impressive aircraft. Euro failure tape. Let's just have another look. Another look at this big old from the Luftwaffe. Remember what I was saying yesterday about how the C-17 and the A400M tail is very similar in a way. Let's just have a little look. See if we can get a look inside without actually going inside. Of course, troop transporter, vehicle transporter, carry armoured vehicles and other such ordnance. They'll push sometimes. Push containers out the back of the aircraft that are on chutes. What's this whole thing here? So is this a drop tank as well, a fuel tank? Wow, look at that! Pretty impressive, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. It's got the fuel. It's got the filling cap on the filler cap on the top there. I think that possibly is it. Again, such an impressive, everything's massive and impressive on this aircraft. Look at the machining there on the undercarriage systems there. Huge, great big shock absorbers. Of course, this massive wing, huge wing. These engines. Look at those props, folks. Look at those props. Kind of the wrong side. Let me get the other side. Turboprop. Extremely impressive piece of machinery. Just look at these props here, ladies and gents. Refueling Pro. Air-to-air refueling. See, she's got a head-up system. What's up? Oh, cool. Oh, he's a really cool guy. His old Manuel. So a lot of some old types here, folks, as well. Let me just This is a, I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but this is I mean, this is I don't know if this is an attack helicopter or it's or if it's a troop carrier. I think it's doesn't look like there's many there's much room in there for anybody. I think this is an NH-90 Sea Lion. Again, this is a marine helicopter. You see these grab bars. There is a. I'm guessing it is for small amount of maybe dropping, maybe to drop special operations missions into a into somewhere. I don't know, but I'm sure people will be explaining it on the chat right now. Get involved in the chat, folks. If you've got anything you want to add, any information about these aircraft, then please don't hesitate in doing so. Very impressive rotor system up top. Of course, this is all powered by the equivalent of what would be an APU. I think there's two. I think this is twin engined. Of course, the rear rotor there, rear rotor assembly. Exposed, interestingly enough. Balances on it, etc., etc. But you can see by that, I think, because this is a vessel-based, or it can be positioned on a carrier that has a swing tail on it, in order for it to be stored on board an aircraft carrier, I'm thinking. But you've got aircraft like that. Let's just have a look at it. Two Rolls-Royce RTM 322s. Just have a look here. There's nothing in English there, unfortunately. No. Wow, it's busy, man. It's busy. Now, this is an impressive aircraft that we're coming up on now. It's a bit like Martin Brundle's grid walk. This. See if I can get hold of. See if I can get hold of one of the pilots. So this is an impressive aircraft that we're coming up on now, folks. The Apache. Now we've talked about this before and we've seen it many times before. Oh, incidentally, Julie, somebody messaged me the other day just to say that apparently someone that he knew was flying in one of those Chinooks that we caught the other day. It's going to be a little bit difficult too. What's up? What's up? All right. See, these guys can hover below tree lines with that radar system. It's the only thing that is exposed over the tree line, so that the guy in the back seat, it's twin operators, obviously the pilot up the front and the weapons systems operator sat behind him or her, and you can see the racks there. See the missile racks. Could do. Interesting to see the raked bladelet. Is it? Oh, okay. Is it? Is it? Okay, it's not the It says Tiger on it, actually. Okay, so maybe he's right. Maybe it isn't the. It's very similar to it, isn't it? Yeah. Bloody hell. It's impossible. So this is what Thank you.
Weil es gibt bei ähnlich wie der Arte, der Richter zum Beispiel kann aus der Deckung raus, oder sagen wir im direkten
Whatever it is a gunship, isn't it?
Schuss. Ist eher so ab 3 Kilometer abfeuern, dann ist es auch aber es ist wie eine Fettwaffe. Also wenn ich da sage, ich will genau das Fahrzeug treffen, aber es zum Beispiel ein High Explosive sprengt, also Gewechtskopf drin, der hat auch eine Spitte. Weißt du da, wie man passiert, aber dann Helfer schnell sagt, wo man hinschiebt, oder steht es? Genau, die Optik die oben ist maskiert, also eine TV-Kamera, eine Infrarotkamera und dann mit dem Gun sozusagen, also der Sitz. Damit ist es
Thank you. I think he's talking about infrared systems there, so that nose-operated infrared camera. That's a serious piece of kit, whatever it is, mate. Okay, this is a bit of a bottleneck here. We're going to have to go for it. Here we go. How long have we got, Julie, for that? Is that a Eurocopter then? It's not a GP? It's not the one driving the buggy through here, is it? It was a Eurocopter, was it? Have we got a delay? Tiger Eurocopter. Apologies, folks. I'm not massively up on the choppers. Oh, so. Okay, we're through the bottleneck. Yeah, we got a delay, mate. We got a delay. Okay, go comms, GP. Go comms. Go. Okay. I've turned it off, but it still hasn't cut off. It's a delay to cut off. Fantastic. Okay. Here's a favourite amongst many folks. C-130 Hercules. I think this might be a Super Herc. I don't know. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. I think this might be a C-130 Hercules, big favourite amongst many. This is a re-engined variant, one of the latest. I think they literally just retrofitted these engines. It wasn't. I don't think they were. I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. It may even be that these engines were retrofitted with the new hub and blade assemblies, and not even re-engined. Right. Okay. And what's happening with that then? Is that also coming in? I wonder. Doughty. That's interesting. Might not seem much to a lot of people, but I think, folks, that Doughty were the prop manufacturers of the Lancaster bomber prop blades and other bomber blades, or maybe even the fighter blades in the Second World War. So they've got a big heritage, those guys at Doughty. Again, refueling probe. Crazy, isn't it? Simple blooming windscreen wiper, like a old Morris Minor, isn't it? Crazy. Yeah, he's got a bit of a duck look about him, hasn't he? So these are the pitot tubes that we talk about, folks, which are angle of attack sensor right there, I think, possibly. And these are the pitot tubes, airspeed indicators. Oh no, that's your angle of attack. So there. That's the AOA sensor. Other equipment, which is laser by the looks of it. Very impressive carbon blade setup by Doughty. Good to see they're still making the blades. I wonder if that's the case of whether they make the blade for the A400 as well. What's up, GP? So later on in the fly past, the Luftwaffe fly past, folks, it's quite an extensive fly past, and that will be featuring those air-to-air refueling jets. Okay, here is an Eurofighter Typhoon. Now you can see why those there's not a lot of clearance there, is there, between the access steps and that canard wing. See why it's it needs to be up as high as it does. Just didn't see that intake. The aerodynamics around that intake is quite interesting, isn't it? Warfare on this thing. That's an impressive piece of equipment. It's the GBU 48. I think. Some pretty impressive equipment. These things are made very unstable in order for them to be as that's what we just saw displaying, folks. Quite impressive, when you look at the Super Herc up against the A400, it's still smaller than the A400M. So you can see how narrow it is in comparison to the A400. Still has quite a significant capability, but of course, with improvements. Well, I mean, you can see how many troops they can fit on it, can't you? But if they needed to, they can fit vehicles like that in there. That kind of vehicle. small tank. I'm guessing. It's amazing when you look at, when we look closely at aircraft these days and see all these little tiny vortex generators that we've noticed on the aircraft during our travels. Here's a favourite, folks. Now, the Luftwaffe, interestingly enough, are still flying the Tornado. Of course, they're waiting for the F-35 to come on stream. Probably about 26, 27. They're thinking, depending on how much money they've got and depending on the global situation at the time. But look at this. Believe that. Good old Tornado, man. So I'm imagining that you'd have to go to where would it be, Spandauheim or something, where you'd be able to Sorry folks, the usual, as can be expected when you're live streaming, you know the score, I don't need to explain it. Isn't it interesting how the pitch of those engines is as they are, facing downwards, having a downward pitch? Well, I don't know actually, now I'm looking at it. The hub assembly and the main prop itself is actually horizontal. It's just the engine itself. This might be the next Big Jet TV vehicle, folks. No, I've walked away, Gilly, and I'm back up where it was absolutely fine. It's okay now, and the audio's okay, yeah? Okay. Sorry, folks. Right, we're going to. We apparently have the A400M, which is. Now, the one thing I do need to do. Unfortunately, they're a little bit behind the times in terms of. It's like when you go shopping, innit? In a busy side street. People just understandably just waddling very slowly. But anyway, bit of a mission to find an ATM if I can. All good, GP? Still? Okay. Right. Hey. Okay. You say I've got. Did you say I've got? Kind of figured out why they have outlined those windows now, either side. What I thought was originally a replacement panel, it's actually for the emergency crews to access. A bit like they've done with the door surrounds now that they've started doing on aircraft. And now you can see clearly what we're talking about when we talk about the paint around the cockpit. It's simply a lick of paint which is more or less an aesthetic feature. So those three probes that you see there on the upper section of the nose, that's something that they've done away with now. This is an earlier variant, and those probes are now, those sensors are now on board the aircraft, so they no longer have to be there, but they have retained these angle of attack sensor, first officer and captain, of course the airspeed indicator, pitot tubes, so air will literally rush in through those tubes to give you a true airspeed reading, and amongst other information. Let's see if we can let's see if we can get a walk around there, mate. Good. Hello. Hello. Just got to walk around. Big Jet TV.
You would have to go to the front desk.
We've already done that, man. We just want to have a quick walk around.
No, sorry.
Okay, so these other guys are...
yeah, we had the guy to do the tour, but without an appointment from the front desk, it's not possible, sorry.
All right, but they said that we couldn't, there's no possibility of having an appointment.
Okay, then that's not possible, sorry.
Okay. All right, thanks, man. Cheers. Oh, it's funny, isn't it? You got to laugh. Never mind, he's doing his job. He's only a youngster, isn't he? I've been up the front desk. I've done all of that. Look at that beautiful profile wing there. Isn't that beautiful, man? Thing of beauty, literally. And as you can see, when we see these aircraft at Toulouse, when they haven't got their wing lits, their sharklets or blended wing tips fixed, you can see there the fixed line for the winglet. Fantastic. So remember yesterday, folks, when I said that there was an ATR here running on 100% SAF? Well, I was wrong. It's not an ATR. It's a similar type of aircraft, twin turboprop regional aircraft. And here she is. 100% sustainable by design. I'm wondering whether this is utilising a six blade prop system, kind of a Texan too. Okay, let's just have a look. That's it's over there, isn't it? Okay, so Deutsche Aviation. Not sure what exactly that is. Ah, interesting. Very, very interesting, Mr. Barr.
Morgen, Schwerhauber von der Messe Berlin.
Hello.
Hi, you speak English or German?
I am English.
You
yes.
are English.
I am English, sir, yes.
Would you give a short interview? You say in the camera why you are here and what are you
well, we're live at the moment. Can we
okay.
Can we do it later? Is that possible? Are you here?
I'm watching you.
Okay, thank you. He's run away. Right. What was you? Okay, so we played an ad out, have we? Accidentally. Oh well. It's a bit like notifications, and it's a bit random whether it happens with some or not. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the last ever A380 ever to be made. No other A380 will ever be manufactured ever again. And this is the 6-month-old Emirates 380, which I think we've seen operational at Heathrow, have we not? I seem to recall. Wow. I thought the queues at Terminal 2 were long. Go and get her.